Today we're going to be doing a compression test on the 97 850R. So this car has just been manual swap, has a larger turbo and some other little things, but ironically enough we started noticing some white smoke coming out of the tailpipe. At first we thought it was head gasket. We did that test and thankfully it passed. We thought it may be the turbo that we just got rebuilt and installed. Thankfully that checked off, so that wasn't the case. So now we're just going to do a compression test to see if maybe it's something internally in the engine. Hopefully not, but that's probably what it's looking like. I remember doing a compression test on this car not too long ago, and the numbers were on the lower range of the acceptable range for this car, which is 156 to 186. If I recall correctly, I was getting about 150 or 155 on all the cylinders. Which is still good, but it's not optimal. It's not like a very powerful, strong engine. So anyway, we're gonna do a compression test to see where that stands, and if we need to investigate it further on, we'll do a wet test. And so let's go ahead and start. I'm gonna go ahead and start the car to make sure it's warm. I got my key over here. I really like this. Check this out. It's I guess it's a laser cut metal Volvo 850 keychain. It's really, really cool. I got that from a guy on Instagram. Anyway, you know, you always gotta check for like 20 seconds to make sure it's in neutral. I think every car guy does this. Anyway. Little rough getting a start up. That a second and see what happens. Almost heated up. The white smoke has subsided a little bit. There's still a little bit of smoke coming out, but definitely not as much as before. But check out this water. Listen to this. Now that the car is warm and ready for the compression test, I'm going to go ahead and disable the ignition. So this car has the distributor cap, so just disconnecting this wire from the main is going to disable the ignition. Now I'm going to get the fuel pump relay from under this fuse box over here. Alright, and this is the fuel pump relay right here, number 103. It's the big red one. Just remove that, and now we have disabled the fuel pump. Cool. Now if you have the cam cover on your engine still, you can go ahead and remove that. Set that aside. go get the light. Or as Adam would say, torch. Now, I don't know if he says that, but he probably does, because he says a lot of weird things. Huh. That's not good. Why is there... That's a lot of oil, guys. That's a lot of oil, guys. That's a lot of oil. What the hell? What in the world is up with these spark plugs? These things look horrible, and I haven't even taken them out yet. This is the most ratchet of all time. We got a breaker bar, an adapter, another adapter, extension, adapter, and then our spark plug socket. Let's see if this works. Huh. This might be a little bit hot, I would imagine. What the heck? What? Why? What? So confused. There's literally a line of coked up oil on the white part of the plug. Oil all over the threads. The tip looks fine. Looks a little bit better. Still some oil on the threads. Tip looks fine. This one doesn't really have that coked up line of oil. It looks like it was maybe starting to develop, but maybe not quite. Can you see the smoke blowing out of the head? Holy crap. Can you see this? So we have our gauge right here. It has the red indicator to show you what's bad compression, but like I said, it's all dependent on your car, really. Because this one, it says that if you're, it looks like 120 and above, you're good, but in this case, not necessarily. So we'll go ahead and thread this in using the right adapter, because it comes with two. Aha, interesting. Well, that's somewhat reassuring. It's looking like it's 152, 153, something like that. Okay. Alhamdulillah. I just let it sit here for about a minute, and it literally didn't move at all. It's still sitting at about a 153, which means that it's holding the pressure at that. So that's a very good sign, at least. That's not, I mean, it's not too far out of the range. So as long as the rest of these are pretty close to this one, I'll be fine. I'll be happy with this. So let's go ahead and relieve this and go to the next cylinder. Hey, not too bad. So far, so good. This looks like a little bit under 150. I would say maybe 148, 149, something like that. Cool, let's leave that for a minute. Hey, so far, so good. That's looking like another 153. Very cool. So far, so good. Hey, that looks great. Look at that. That's 155. Awesome. Here we got the last cylinder. Let's see what happens. Oh snap! Yeah! Alhamdulillah, that's really good. We're sitting at 154, 155. Now I'm just confused. Compression's low, but it's good. Turbo's good. Head gasket is good. PCV is brand new. It's good. Spark plugs look kind of sketchy. What? Alright, so I came here to my local O'Reilly's because awkward. Alright, so I do want to change the spark plugs. I have the OEM Volvo plugs still with me, thankfully, so I might run those if the new spark plugs that I'm about to buy don't go well. So I'm choosing the NGKs because that's what the tuner recommended. So I'm here at my local auto parts store, sponsor us, to get a new set. Now before I put these away, I wanted to go ahead and check them out, just curious as to what the gap is. And sure enough, for some reason they're sitting at 0.030. which is not what I set them at. So I find that very strange. Right there, 0.030, actually a little bit more maybe even, and they're all like that, even though I supposedly set them at 0.025 to 0.026. So I find that very odd. I got the spark plugs all gapped correctly. They're all about 0.026 or so much better than what they were before. I got the torque wrench over here set at 18 foot-pounds per Volvo's manual and recommendations. I was gonna go ahead and put the anti-seize on the threads, as you always should, but I realized that sometimes NGK, they don't call for any anti-seize because they say that they're chrome spark plugs. When you see the chrome threading over here, usually at least with NGK, supposedly it's called a trivalent coating, and it comes coated from the factory like that to prevent against corrosion and some other stuff. So adding anti-seize to these actually, according to them, distorts torque specs by about 20%. So essentially, if you were putting the anti-seize on this and then torquing to 18 foot-pounds, you're actually torquing to 20% more than what it should be. So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it off for now, and I'll check them back within a few thousand miles to see how they look and see what happened. Alrighty, everything is back buttoned up right now. We have all the spark plugs correctly gapped inside. The ignition wire is nice and tight. I had to fix something over here because it wasn't sitting correctly, but that's pretty good right now. We have the ignition back in over here. We have a fuel pump relay back installed. And then we also have the front mount pipe, intercooler pipe, connected again. So I'm gonna leave this off so I can check the spark plugs in a little bit. A few thousand miles, as I said. So I think it's ready to be started again. See what happens. I'm still not really satisfied right now. There's still some smoke coming out, and I want to say it smells like coolant. Even though everything else checks out, I think I'm gonna go and see if I can find one of those coolant pressure test systems so that we can pressurize the coolant system to see if there's actually a leak of coolant somewhere. It could very well be the heater core, even though I got that replaced, geez, not even maybe 20,000 miles ago. But who knows, maybe the installation from the shop, because at that time I really wasn't into cars as well as the fixing aspect, the repairs. So I didn't do it myself, and now I realize how easy of a job it is. I could have done that easily myself, so maybe the installation wasn't done correct. We are approaching a major milestone in the 4Runner. Almost gonna hit 200,000 miles on this 4.7 V8. Just got the parts from O'Reilly. Kayla from the store actually went and got them from the back and unwrapped them from the plastic right in front of me. So they are absolutely spanking brand new. So another question arises, how much do you pressurize the system? So pro tip, usually on the cap or the expansion tank or on the radiator cap, if yours is on the radiator, there's usually some markings over here that you could see, and mine's over here. You really can't see it unless I switch it around, but it usually tells you exactly what the rating for the pressure of the system should be. In my case over here, it says 150 kPa. So if we go to Google and we type 150 kilopascals to PSI, so we convert from Swedish to normal English, just kidding, we get 21.7 pounds force per square inch, so that we can go ahead and set our gauge correctly so that we're not actually going over the limit and causing more damage than we want. So to make this test a little bit easier, we're going to make sure that we're all filled up. So I'm going to fill it up with some Gatorade that I have over here. Don't spill. There we go. No, I'm just kidding. It's Volvo Coolant, but it's a concentrate, so you have to mix with water. So I'm just going to put a bottle of this and then a bottle of water to make sure everything is all topped up. So it's kind of getting dark right now. I had to run back and get another adapter set from Advanced Auto. As Pepe always says, there's always gonna be something. To the 20 mark, which is, if we're going by that logic, it's really about 15 or 14. And it looks like it's holding. It might be losing pressure little by little. Actually, no, it's still sitting at 20. Nothing there. This is gonna drive me insane. What the hell? Nothing. I don't see anything. Ah, I found it. I found it. What did I tell you guys? Never let anybody touch your baby. Never let anybody touch your car. Just because they're a mechanic with a big old shop doesn't mean anything. Look at this. Sure enough, it's the heater hoses. I don't know if you could see it, but they're literally dripping water or coolant down below onto that sensor. Look. You could see the coolant leaking right there on my finger. And I bet you if I go inside, under my carpet, I'll find a coolant leak. Aha! What do we have here? Look at this. Look at that. Coolant leak. Look at this.
Would you just look at it? Huh. Look at this awfulness. Just a puddle of coolant coming up from these lines right over here. You can see it, there's actually a fresh drippage going on. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to redo this guy's professional work. Well, now at least we know what's going on. Thanks for watching.